Hey everybody, I'm Jammer, and the announcement of Joker as the first DLC fighter for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate really took the internet by storm with such a surprise reveal at the Game Awards because, I mean, who saw this coming? Who saw that coming? Now knowing one of the total of 5 DLC fighters becoming to Smash Bros., this helps shed light on what we can kind of expect going forward, who the remaining 4 DLC fighters are going to be. IGN caught up with Reggie after the Game Awards announcement with a quick interview talking about the reveal of Joker in Smash, and he had this to say. It is emblematic of the approach that Mr. Sakurai and the team are taking with the DLC. He wants characters that are unique, different, to bring them into Smash Bros. Environment. So it's going to be tremendously exciting. He basically says with the reveal of Joker, it's kind of what we can expect going forward for the reigning fighters. It's going to be big reveals of super unique and different characters to bring to the cast here on Super Smash Bros. He then adds Mr. Sakurai not only is a student of Nintendo franchises, he obviously had his hand in a few, but he's also a student of video games from a total perspective. And so he's been the driver in really thinking about what type of character coming into Smash Bros. Would bring a whole different level of fun and enjoyment to the player. That's the approach and that's the thinking. Reggie basically explains that the next DLC... He basically explains what to expect for the next remaining DLC fighters are going to be brand new unrepresented franchises Smash, but even beyond that, perhaps aren't even that associated with Nintendo as often. Really opening the door to the entire gaming industry and all their icons. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. Who are these remaining 4? If Joker is the first, what are going to be the remaining ones? What's going to be the last one? How are they going to top Joker? So I really think first-party characters like Luigi, Bandana DDD, I don't think they have a chance this time around. I really think they're going to be really focusing on third-party characters and unrepresented series here in Smash Bros. Welcome to the top 4 remaining DLC fighters for the Fighter Pass Smash Ultimate. Let's try that again. Predictions for the top 4 remaining DLC fighters for Smash. What? The first one I want to start with was actually a recent rumor slash leak slash rumor, more rumor probably, but maybe leak. Obviously take with a grain of salt, but there was a recent publishing that potentially the second character for DLC for Smash Bros. Was actually leaked. That character being Edric from Dragon Quest. Now you may be thinking, what? Dragon Quest? Dragon Quest is a series that's been long beloved by, you know, Japanese fans. Hasn't had nearly much appeal here in the Western audience. I mean, the games have come out here anyways, but it's huge over in Japan. If you don't know what it is, you probably recognize their iconic enemy, their Goomba, if you have it. Slime, the little water droplet looking guy with the cute little face. Dragon Quest has been around since basically ever and is a huge presence in Japan. And the fact that Dragon Quest has never been really represented in Smash Bros. Before is kind of impressive, actually. And Edric is kind of like the Cloud Strife of that series. While like Final Fantasy, it's a different cast of characters every game. Dragon Quest takes a similar kind of theming where it's different cast every time. Edric is one of the more beloved protagonists, similar to how Cloud Strife is from Final Fantasy VII. What's interesting is what the rumor states is there'll be an option to choose either male or female Edric, just like in the game, and then they'll have alt skins based on other Dragon Quest protagonists. It also later mentions that the slime will like appear basically as a part of its moveset, maybe being like a down B or something, I don't really know. Because slime is like the most iconic character of the entire Dragon Quest series. It's very similar to what like the Chocobo is to Final Fantasy. If this rumor does come true, all I hope is that Square is a little bit more giving with their property, because as it stands now, Final Fantasy representation in Smash is kind of lackluster. There really is hardly any spirit. There has been no musical tracks added beyond to the 2 that were already in the game or whatever, something like that. That's why in the way I'm kind of surprised the Dragon Quest character is going to be making it as a DLC fighter. Even though they brought back Cloud and brought him back into Smash Bros., they really didn't give him much more new stuff. And so that's why it was kind of surprising to me to hear that potentially another Square character might be making it over, just because how they've been treating how Cloud's been in this game. I think Edric could bring a lot of unique stuff to the table. Yes, he's another sword fighter, but Smash Ultimate does a really great job making all the sword fighters play very differently from one another. I mean, even look at the plethora of Marth clones. They all have unique attributes and play significantly different than another. The Links are a much better example, obviously, where all 3 of them are so much more distinct than they've ever been. With Breath of the Wild Link with the longest sword of the 3, but also having remote bombs. Toon Link being super speedy with his regular arrows instead of the double one, you know. And then Young Link, of course, with his fire arrows. They all kind of play differently. I'm not really concerned that they won't make this character unique compared to the other plethora of sword fighters in the game. What's kind of cool, though, is the art style of Dragon Quest is actually the same artist who did the whole Dragon Ball series. So, I mean, for those supporting Goku, I mean, Edric is kind of a win, because it's almost Dragon Ball in Smash. Alright, we're moving on. The next character is quite an obvious one. Everyone was talking about going into Smash Brothers. The Grinch leak even talked about it. And I think Banjo's got a great chance of making it into Smash Brothers. Of all the Microsoft representatives, I mean, obviously, Steve from Minecraft could make it in. But let's be real, Nintendo fans dying for Banjo to be in Smash Bros. So I think this is finally his time to kind of come back into the spotlight and make his appearance in the game. Going along with what you said, this is a new franchise to be represented in Smash Bros. I mean, obviously, the Donkey Kong crew and K. Rool, for that matter, have been involved in rare games such as Diddy Kong Racing or Donkey Kong 64, Donkey Kong Country, all those games obviously, but they're not rare characters, while Banjo is a rare character. But now technically it's a Microsoft character, whatever. So this would be a new collaboration for Nintendo with bringing in a new franchise into the series. He's one of the picks of this list that I am the most confident on, honestly, just because it just makes too much sense to have him in. Which in a way is unfortunate because I feel like the rest of this list, Joker included obviously, has been just major surprises and no one was really expecting. They could throw us another curveball and, like I said, put Steve from Minecraft in instead and still have that Microsoft collaboration. I think having Banjo would be really important because at least among all the picks for this DLC roster, although most of them will not be expected and will be totally curveballs, he's just one people have wanted for so long now. His appearance is well overdue. I really have nothing else to say about him. I think he's just gonna be in. That's all I gotta say. Now this one, I'm not as confident on, but maybe hear me out. Memes aside, I think Tracer might have a chance in Smash Brothers. I know there's a lot against it. For example, I mean, I don't know, Overwatch never being on the Switch or Blizzard having any interest of putting on the Switch. Diablo 3 really recently released on the Switch, so I mean, at least showing some sort of Blizzard and Nintendo collaboration, but beyond that, Blizzard really hasn't had much of influence on Nintendo. However, like Reggie said, that doesn't matter. It's all about gaming icons here. And Blizzard has been a powerhouse of the industry for many years through their World of Warcraft, StarCraft, and all their other crafts. Minecraft. And Overwatch obviously being one of their newer properties that has been a really big pillar of the gaming industry. There's a lot of arguments against her even being in Smash, but I personally would love to see her because I think she would be very unique. While yes, Bayonetta is a gun-wielding character, she still uses a lot of melee attacks to kind of orient her moveset. Mega Man's the closest thing we have to a projectile-oriented player, and I think it'd be really interesting to have a shooter-based character in Smash Brothers, because that's really nothing we've seen before. And I think a lot of her moves from the game could translate over very easily into Smash Brothers. Her Echo, or whatever it's called, where she zips around, that could easily be like a quick little like teleport thing. She zip around the stage, get in, get out, use that to kind of reposition and use your guns from a distance, right? Her Recall, where she kind of like turns back time a couple of seconds to reposition herself as well, getting a little bit of health back. I could totally see that be like a down B or something. I could totally see that being like a down B with a cooldown. And as well with her Pulse Spawn being like a final smash or something else, or even another just special move where she can place it on a person and zip out of the way and have it go off. I think there's a lot of really unique ways to incorporate her into Smash Brothers, and I think she would be a great pick. Well, yes, I do admit I don't know how likely she is, but Reggie did say that it doesn't have, these DLC characters may not be series that Nintendo's typically associated with. Overwatch has been such a big game over the past few years, I think it'd be a great series to represent here in Smash Brothers. So before we move on to my final pick, I want to give you some honorable mentions of characters. I kind of wrote up a little list of people who potentially could make it in as his final slot, because there's still a lot they could choose from. There's a lot of series they could represent here. They could pull from another existing company collaboration they already have with like Square or Capcom. They could bring Leon S. Kennedy from the Resident Evil series. I mean, there's already Rathalos in the game. They could bring a Monster Hunter fighter, whether it be a Palico or a Hunter itself. We could even see Dante from Devil May Cry, so it could literally be the meme of Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo Switch featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series. Going back to Square, I know a lot of people have been asking Sora to be in the game. He's been such a highly requested character, and honestly, I could totally see him making it in. But making 2 of the 5 Fighter Pass characters being all Square characters, I don't know if that would happen, but it could. I mean, who really knows? There's no rule saying it can't do that. Beyond that, they could do, what's her name? 2B, I think, from Nier Automata. That's a collaboration with Square and Platinum, 2 companies that are already partnered and working with Super Smash Bros. Or we could see some really out there collaborations, like maybe somebody from Bethesda, like the Dragonborn, or maybe the Fallout Boy or something. They could do something as big as bringing Kratos over from PlayStation. That would be insane. Especially because he was in PlayStation All-Stars, then be brought over. Yeah, it'd be great. And I know a lot of people have been supporting a character from Naughty Dog, like Crash or Spyro. Either of those characters would be right at home here in Smash Bros. And I think they both have a really great chance of making it in. Honestly, I don't know who to pick for this last slot, because like, as you saw with this list, almost every single one of those characters makes sense. Obviously, some are a little stronger than others, but realistically, they all make a lot of sense. But if I had to choose one character, the final Super Smash Bros. Ultimate character for DLC for Smash Bros. On Nintendo Switch, Sans. Curious, what characters are you hoping for the last 4 remaining slots for DLC fighters in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate? Let me know that in the comments below. Do you like my picks? Did I list off someone you're hoping to make it in Smash, or is there something else you're entirely hoping to be different in there? I don't know. So definitely let me know that in the comments below. Be sure to give this video a big awesome like, and if you haven't already, definitely subscribe for tons more on Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. As a quick reminder, I try to live stream on the weekends at usually 9 AM Pacific so we can play Smash Brothers together. I'll let you know as we get closer. The plan for now is Saturday morning. If that doesn't work out, we'll try to do Sunday. Sorry for missing last week. That was my mistake, but we'll definitely do it this time around, or I'll eat my shoe. Okay, I don't want to eat my shoe, but it's gonna happen this time. I promise. As a quick reminder, the JammerProHD merchandise shop is packed full of new designs for Smash Bros. Ultimate and other Nintendo merch stuff. There's lots of new colors, sizes, different shapes, long sleeves, hoodies, t-shirts. Definitely check that out. The link to that is also in the description. Thanks again, guys, so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. See ya!